Hello, my name is Shannon Range, and this presentation has been created for Dr. Elkins' Library Science 5333 School Library Media Center Spring 2016 class. In this presentation, I will outline how this website addresses the needs of each of the stakeholder groups, which include administration, teachers, students, parents and family, and community. I will then discuss how this website meets the needs of the 5 roles of the librarian, those roles being as a leader, an instructional partner, an information specialist, a teacher, and a program administrator. Lastly, I will discuss 2 strengths of this site and 1 area for development. First, I will discuss how this site meets the needs of administration. I did not see a specific area that supports the needs of administration. The many faces of school leadership tells us that libraries should be demonstrating what students can do now that they could not do before. I think I would create a link to a library brag sheet demonstrating how the library program has helped students' growth. I would include data on how the library has contributed to test scores and overall campus literacy. I think I would create a link to that brag sheet in this area. I think easy access to a page like this one would give principals a quick, easy way to check on the library program. Next, I will discuss how this site supports teachers. The panic virus link is the perfect example of how this site supports teachers. It has scientific databases gathered together for students to explore viruses. This seems extremely helpful for teachers because this puts resources together on one page. This would save teachers a lot of time, which is needed because, as we learned in the whole school library, due to increased accountability demands placed on teachers, there's little time to investigate lesson strategies. This resource is already put together and ready for the teacher and students to use. There are clear instructions and database links. Next, I will discuss how this site supports students. Here on the front of this page, there is a library in your pocket function. This would serve students well because it meets students where they need to be met. Students can download applications in either iTunes or Android versions. This function allows students to access the library outside of the library walls and hours. We know that our students have grown up in a wired world because Empowering Learners reminded us of that this week. I particularly like the area at the bottom where students can recommend applications to one another. This promotes interactivity. Next, I will discuss how this site supports parents. When we go to the top of this site, there is a For Parents link. At the bottom of this page, there are several links that cover blogs, reading, literacy, but I particularly liked the link here, teaching parents how to educate their children on their digital footprint. This semester in cyberbullying, sexting, and online sharing, a comparison of parent and school facility perspectives, we learned that it is important that children understand internet rules in general, and putting resources on the school library website that support smart internet use would help parents immensely. Next, we will discuss how this site supports the community. I did not see a specific area on this site that addressed community needs. However, the SCSD Media Services page is the perfect spot for community outreach. Local businesses need future employees that have 21st century skills, and our Empowering Learners text tells us that many technology companies have collaborated to create these standards. I think the Code Night illustrated on the SCSD Media blog is the perfect place for local technology companies to participate. I would partner with regional businesses to come up with a series of technology classes and place a link again over here in this area where there is much space available. I would place a link to a calendar where individuals could sign up for classes. All would be welcome, including parents, staff, students, and community members. I think this would develop strong ties to the community. Next, I will discuss the roles of the librarian involving this site. We learned from Empowering Learners that one characteristic of a good leader is to serve as a teacher and listener who acts upon good ideas from teachers, peers, and students. I did not see strong evidence of this trait. I would create a community communicates link in which a student created icon here on this side of the main page would allow students to access a discussion board where patrons could tell their stories of the library and make suggestions for the library. This would give stakeholders a direct voice in creating the library they want. Librarians are also supposed to be instructional partners. We know librarians should collaborate with classroom teachers to develop classroom assignments that match the academic standards and include key critical thinking skills, technology and information literacy skills, and core social skills and cultural competencies, Empowering Learners, 2009. The 11th grade language arts catcher in the Rye page is a perfect example of this. This Holden's Hang-Ups page demonstrates that the librarian and the 11th grade English teacher have collaborated to create a page that fosters technology and information skills because the students must be familiar with using websites and internet technology. This lesson also supports literacy skills because students will be reading over disorders associated with the character Holden Caulfield. This page shows true partnership because the librarian would have to understand the curriculum in order to create the resource for the teachers. As an information specialist, it's important that librarians understand the ethical use of information. This site has a focus on copyright laws. Empowering Learners teaches us that librarians must be well versed in the ethical use of information and must understand fair use. The librarian at this district obviously understands this because this entire page supports copyright education. I particularly like the links to the videos. This video in particular I know is credible because that video has been used in my graduate school courses. The role of a teacher is fulfilled on this site through the What Should I Read Next link. In this area, students are able to find recommendations for books, and they're able to search based on title or author, and this will make suggestions for them. This highly supports reading. As a program administrator, I didn't see much evidence on this site. Among the many responsibilities included for the librarian as a program administrator, Empowering Learners states that the program administrator will collaboratively develop a mission and strategic plan. As a program administrator, I would make my mission statement clearly known. I would create a page that not only outlines the library's mission, vision, and goals, I would make it clear that the document is living and evolving based on stakeholders' needs. Because the page would be based on stakeholders' needs, again, I would elicit feedback from stakeholders by allowing them to submit their suggestions for improvements. And again, there's plenty of room in this area of the site for that. The first strength I recognize in this site is its use of technology. This App Central area supports the 21st century learner, described in Empowering Learners. This allows students to have access to the library through their mobile device or computer so they can retrieve information instantly, which is a trait of the 21st century learner. This site not only includes apps used in educational settings such as EasyBib, but apps that the entire world use, such as Google and Dropbox. I think the infographics page uses technology to assist in the creation of engaging learning tasks and 21st century skill outlined in the Empowering Learners. This site found here, this link found down here, allows students to create their own infographic, but starts by offering excellent examples like this infographic that defines an infographic, why to use them, illustrates the different types, and the major parts, and how to make one. I think the student work section is particularly powerful because it models authentic examples of students' work, offering links to tools that can create infographics, connect students to even more useful technology tools as well. Here's the student work section, and there's the area for them to create tools. One area for development that I found is that some things on this site are outdated. The Reading Games blog is a perfect example. I love the idea of a reading blog, but if students are not participating, it should be taken down. The last post on this reading blog was January 24th, 2014. The librarian is supposed to provide tools that engage learners, but this does not currently appear to support engagement. In the end, this site has many attributes and some areas in which it could improve. Thank you very much and have a lovely evening.